So today, as I said, was the most intense moment. It gave you ideal amounts of desperation and hope at the same time. If you think about it, you get the fucking desperation by, well, the satrap is fucking dead, right? And it's not just that the satrap is fucking dead. Razathan, one of the most beautiful fucking cities, lies pretty much in ruin. Yeah, now you're gonna tell me, oh no, it's not in ruin, we managed to fucking recover it. No, we didn't. We really didn't. If you look at the sky, it's going to shit. At any given point, people may have to give into these Sha situations, which is something I'm going to make a comparison between Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft. Back in Mists of Pandaria, even though I love the fucking narrative, I did not really get the Sha shit. Arguably, I was younger then than I am now. Like, I believe what Mr. Pandaria was, 10 years ago or something? So yeah, it's been a long ass fucking time ever since then. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, it meant way more to me than it did back then in that other game. And why? Because you first visit Razathan to save them from the tower, and you manage to save them from the tower. You give them the hope that they require, you know, the hope that they needed. You were 40 back then. Fuck you, suck on my dick. With that aside, as I was saying, you gave them hope by killing the Tower of Zot, right? They, you killed the you destroyed the tower, you killed the primals that were being summoned by, as they, you know, milked your fucking elephant. You save the elephant, you save the day, you fuck away, you go to the moon, pretty much, you know? Only to come back from the moon, and Thavnair, Razathan, being the very first zone to be devoured by desperation and, you know, lack of hope. Lack of hope. People turn to you, the same people that turn to you for hope were now looking at you confused, like, well, what's happening, you know? The Worm, which was the one that told you to get strength when you were doing that cinematic with Xenos, you know, the moment I fucking hated. When your mind got fucking penetrated by this guy, you know, the body change shit. I don't want to dwell into it too much mentally because it makes me lose my mood and I don't want my mood to be destroyed. I did not like that. If you want to know the extent of how little I liked it, you can watch my latest YouTube video. Hey, I'm shilling for myself! Better than to be a WoW gamer and shilling for Blizzard. Anyway, that was a job again. I will probably never stop doing these jobs, by the way. They will just keep going, you know? And just to restore balance, as I say, fuck Blizzard, fuck Square Enix. There we go, balance was restored, let's keep going. So, the dragon, the Great Worm, gave you this sort of hope when Xenos was still in your fucking body, right? And it helped you, it gave you this urge, like, you know what, you're not alone, just go back in, you know? And in the end, he was the one that required hope from you. Just 2 streams later, or was it 1 stream later or 2 streams? I think it was 2 streams later, you know? He was the guy that required reassurance from me. He was the guy that could not kill his men because he saw his men being dead. He saw his men being consumed, being turned into these aberrations, but he couldn't look past, he couldn't see them as aberrations. He saw them as what they were in life, and this could have been his downfall easily, but thankfully it wasn't. You see that he's not using the facade anymore, which is a very, very good thing for me, as, like, I'm not one for secrecy. Like, I've never been one for secrecy. I hate it. I despise it. It can go and suck my dick, right? And I love that he finally revealed himself to his people and told them, you know what, it was actually me. I'm the guy that gave you my skills. If you check out my left side, you will see that there is a lot of blood over there. And I did that for you because I care about you. In the end, the people of Thavnair get to live my dream, which is man and dragon to live harmoniously right next to each other. By the way, if you're expecting high quality gameplay, you're not going to get it. This is exactly what we're gonna be getting. Mindless farming, okay? So, like I said, because I want to focus on the fucking discussion about the FF, okay? So his people were very, very accepting from him, you know? And you finally get another parallel with the fucking dragons, because if you think about it, the former dragon... The only dragon area that you knew was Ishgard, Dravania, right? Where it was the exact opposite of what we got here in Thavnair. What was it? well, man and dragon fought like beasts. We, men, well, not we, but, you know, like I'm using we as, you know, the mortal races, literally feasted on the Ratatoskor's flesh. They committed sacrilege, we committed a terrible and heinous fucking crime. And for that, fuck us. We're in the wrong, you know? The war there ended after very, very much bloodshed. And you see now in Thavnair that even though there is bloodshed, because, you know, of the fucking... of the aberrations being created, it's not of the dragon fighting the man, but it is with the dragon on the side of the man. I'm truly hoping that we get to see the brood of Virtra, and to see dragon and man fighting alongside. Also, for the first time, I got to see the mobs from Endwalker cinematic in-game. Like these fucking aberrations, how did we call them again? Terminus? You know? Pretty much, you know, the bitch boys, you know? The fucking fuckers, the guys with the super many mouths, you know? Also, I want to commend the Final Fantasy XIV art team at this point. Because, holy shit, I'm going to upload this in YouTube, aren't I? Maybe I am. Well, besides Amarot, yes, but Amarot was in the other expansion. Like, I'm talking about Endwalker. Like, this is the first time you see these bitches, right? And Amarot is literally the only other place that you see them in that dungeon. You know, the dungeon Amarot, not the zone. And it's a while. It's been a while since then, okay? Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, we finally get to see the exact mob that is the epitome, or not the epitome, sorry, the representation of desperation. And I really like the youth, the message this portrays to the youth. You know what? Don't lose hope. Honestly, I think we could do with more messages like this in the gaming community. Like, you guys know that I adore Elden Ring, the game that I'm endlessly farming in right now, yes? But there is not much hope in this game, okay? This is not a post-apocalyptic world. Like, you create the apocalypse, pretty much. You're like, fuck this shit, I'm out, and you commit murder, yes? Even though Elden Ring is my favorite open-world RPG, and I believe it's gonna be the game of the decade, not the game of the year. Subjectively, of course, yes? I truly, truly love this message, because after all, humans, what are we? We are emotions, we are sentimental beings. Compare us to the other animals, how our sense of empathy is so enhanced, you know? And what we have managed to create. And I really love this message being portrayed out, especially to the youth, because FF14 oozes hope in its story, every expansion. It's not just oozing it, it's how it does, you know? I may or may not be a professor, I may or may not be a teacher, a home tutor, okay? Why am I saying may or may not? Because I may or may not be doing tax evasion, okay? Anyway, that aside, let's keep going. I love the message that this lovely game, Final Fantasy XIV, is sending to teenagers. Keep your hopes up. Stay hopeful. Because, you know, you guys remember, you've been teenagers, I've been a fucking teenager, right? You know how emotionally intense this life, this age range, yeah, okay, actually fucking is. And I love messages like this. I can think the world needs something like this. We need more of this, way more of this, and we need less of me. Like, honestly, I have no quarrel, I have no reason to not say that. This world needs of less people like me and more people with hope and shit. You know, why less people like me? Because I am, I don't think, I am a very emotional person, I truly am, okay? But I don't think that my morality is as high as I would like for the future generations to have. Like, if I had students and if I got a professor, I would be telling all those children that I could have had in this totally hypothetical scenario about, you know what? Be better than me. Be better than me. I want the youth, I want the newer generations to be better than us, and I believe that Final Fantasy XIV, the writing and the delivery contributes to that. I wholeheartedly believe, and I wholeheartedly support the claim that if I were a teacher, in a school and I, you know, like, I'm not going to continue this. If I were a teacher in a school, you know, totally legally and shit and all that stuff, you know, I would actually advocate in favor of Final Fantasy XIV. If I was teaching English in a Greek school, I would advocate in favor of Final Fantasy XIV. First of all, it has phenomenal vocabulary. Its vocabulary is better than my fucking... It's way better than the one that I have, you know? It teaches me new words. I could easily just fucking, you know, become a better writer just by playing FF14. It improves me. It does. It really does. And it also does wonders when it comes to my psychology, except for that one day that I did not enjoy. But yeah, we're not going to dwell into that for too long. I believe that gaming can be the future of lecturing. That gaming can be the future of teaching. So long as it's done correctly, with correct words. We need less of asshole, cock, ass, bitch, ass, motherfucking, fuck you, asshole, bitch, idiot. You know, we need less of this, and we need more of the vocabulary the fucking Urianger has. We need more of the vocabulary that Alphino has. We need more people like this, scholars. And I believe that education can be increased. For example, how many of you know about story references because you played Assassin's Creed? I'm not saying that all of them are accurate, but I'm saying that it is way better to play a game that teaches you about the civilization instead of, you know, reading about the civilization. Especially if you're a person like me who despises studying. I hate studying. It's boring to me. I agree. Gaming has grown much over the years, became so much more mainstream, and there's a chance. There is a chance, and Ubisoft started it. Say what you will about them and, you know, the fucking monetization models that they follow, but they did start it, right? With fucking, with Assassin's Creed, and Final Fantasy XIV continues it. There are many differences, differences, I apologize, many references in Charlean that I can spot from Greece. Heck, the entirety of Sage, all of the abilities are Greek. And fun fact, I am Greek myself, and I did not know that the state of Evkrasia comes from, it is a medical term that I don't remember which guy used to use in this fucking ancient Greece. Yeah, just go and read my you don't even have to watch the video. I have uploaded a video of Sage, you know, Sage actually being Greek. Just read the comments there. If you read the comments, you will see many people talking to me about Evkrasia and Dyskrasia. And the 4 humor theory, humor, how the fuck do you pronounce it in English? I don't know. So, long story short is that you get linguistic parts from Greece. For example, Elpis, the flower that Hydaelyn gives to you. Well, Krylie, but it's not really Krylie. It's fucking Hydaelyn in Krylie's body, right? Is Elpida. It means hope in Greek. Okay? The architecture of Charlean, it's similar, if not identical, in many areas to that of ancient Athens. For example, say you are a Japanese child in the other side of the world, you know, and you enjoy architecture, and you get to see Amarot for the first time. You get to see Charlean for the first time, and in the future, you become this. You have innovation. You become innovative, and you create some new sort of architecture. You give birth to new applied, not sciences. You know, you give birth to new shit, which is the beauty. As a guy that is not particularly close to religion and faith and all this shit, it's not about what I have to believe, but my personal opinion, yeah, of course, it's my opinion, it's gonna be personal. Anyway, my opinion is that humans strive for creation. We want to create. Heck, I'm a fucking content creator, a small one, but a content creator nonetheless. And we all want to create something. So, heck, like, if you can I stop stuttering? Is it possible? Probably, right? You can check this out when it comes to families. People want to create families. Everywhere you look around you, you can either create or destroy, you know? So some bitches are gonna destroy, but some other guys are going to create. And yeah, I believe Final Fantasy XIV further nurtures this shit, this mindset to people. And furthermore, I want to truly commend the Final Fantasy XIV art team. I know that I have, in the past and in the present, I'm not going to deny that, I am very harsh when it comes to the graphic design of Final Fantasy XIV. It looks outdated to me. Now, I know that I am biased and I prefer World of Warcraft because I have been playing WoW for 14 years. My eyes have grown accustomed to that, to how this thing looks, right? But Final Fantasy XIV is, it's a bit crude to the eye. Then why do I commend them? First of all, I want to mention that there is a significant improvement in the graphic design from ARR and the other jobs to Charlian, Endwalker Zones, and most importantly, Reaper, who is the class I main. Reaper not only feels clean, which you can see that the people got... they realize what they want to do with their game, you know? How they want to design the classes. Reaper feels complete. Even at level 80, Reaper started feeling complete. I did not really give Reaper an evaluation at level 70 because it wasn't complete, didn't have Enshroud, it was different, you know? But at level 80, you can see fucking Reaper being almost complete with Enshroud. And now that I have my Lemure Slice and all this shit at level 86, I wanna say, it is phenomenal, it is super duper clean, you know? At the same time, the visuals look amazing. And another thing that I want to say, and I want to commend them, even though I am more closely aligned to the World of Warcraft art style, the Final Fantasy XIV team does wonders when it comes to portraying emotion in the NPCs in-game. Blizzard creates very, very good cinematics when they are about a new patch, when they are about a new expansion, when they are about new shit like that. But most of the in-game cinematics look like, I don't know, like how do I give a very smooth comparison and analogy and totally not something extreme? Oh no! Like an unclean asshole. That's how it looks. The emote engine is absolutely nuts. It is! And we will speak about emotes because you gave me an idea and I will further elaborate on this part. But they know how to portray emotion. In World of Warcraft, the in-game cinematics look like something that came out of a fucking alpha, not even a beta. It looks hideous, it looks super bad, it looks terrible. I don't like it. Okay? Final Fantasy XIV, and it all started with Hildebrand. Like, I think they even went ahead and confessed that Hildebrand was a fucking experiment in 1.0 because they wanted to see how extreme they can go with the facial fucking characteristics and facial expressions of the fucking characters, right? But I almost died. They did a phenomenal job when it comes to this and how to properly portray emotion. The emotes, on the other part, give you a reason to go out and unlock stuff in-game. World of Warcraft emote system is archaic, it's terrible, it's super bad. In Final Fantasy XIV, you can create the micro-expressions in your character face. You see evolution in all parts. It is an alien feeling to me to play an MMO like Final Fantasy XIV, because it is, I believe, the only MMO that is constantly getting better. That said, keep in mind that this comes from a guy that feels that Endwalker is my least favorite expansion up to this point. I am seeing that changing. It has already started to change. Don't hate me for this, or maybe hate me. You're free to do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But you can see that the game, overall, the game, you know, it is getting progressively better. I have never played a game in my life that had gotten progressively better. Even Elden Ring, which you cannot compare Elden Ring to fucking Final Fantasy XIV, okay? Like, one of them is an RPG, a single-player game, the other one is an MMO, blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna give all the fucking difference between them. They are fucking... This is going to take for fucking hours if I do that, okay? But Elden Ring, I like the first 50% more than I like the last 50%. I believe that Lurnia was dogshit. I believe that I really loved Limgrave and Weeping Peninsula. Caelid I was not fan of, you know. I love the fucking story with Millicent and all this shit, you know. I don't want to get into spoilery territory for Elden Ring, so I'm not going to be very, very in detail, I guess. I like the Howling Tree from the latter part of the game and Crumbling Forum Azula, but overall I love the gameplay of and the game style of the first 50% of the game more than I did. And this is something that I can find me guilty of in Horizon Zero Dawn, which I have yet to finish. Believe it or not, I have Horizon Zero Dawn for years now, ever since I got my PS4 Pro. And Horizon Zero Dawn was the reason I got the PS4 Pro, and the fact that I found it in a very good price because I know the fucking director of a very, very big company. Anyway, long story short, I got the PS4 Pro and got Horizon Zero Dawn. I didn't finish Horizon Zero Dawn. I didn't. It got mundane after a point. Final Fantasy XIV is the only game that I can see being constantly better. The sound, like, can we take a moment to appreciate the sound? You have the ARR sound, then fucking which, okay, ARR sound is it's phenomenal, okay? It's very, very good, but other than Answers, who is like wow, okay, for me at least, and the Nail song, T9 was it? You know, dun dun dun. I love that song as well, you know. Most of the songs from ARR were like, okay, a wholesome, a new other MMORPG. Then Heavensward comes, and brother, if I listen to another time, if I listen to fucking Ravana's Waltz another time while working out, like, how can I show you guys how much I love the sound from Ravana's theme? I almost broke my foot in the Muay Thai leg breaking training against my boxing bag. That's how passionate it made me. Ravana's theme. And then you have the other banger, the whale. I don't remember the whale's name, right? You have Alexander, which is fucking slapping. Like, honestly, you could just play the Rise, Locus. You could play music like this in a fucking nightclub. At least I could. But what do I know? I don't go to nightclubs, right? But it slaps. It makes you want to dance and shit, you know? I was listening to Alexander music while working out as well, many, many times. It was a step up. Not to mention the Dragon Song War. And then fucking Stormblood happens, and the music is a clear improvement. Sing the Song of Dawn... wait, was it like this? Sing the Song of Dawn, A Day Reborn? How the fuck was it? I don't even recall the lyrics of Revolutions, but... holy shit, that fucking song is amazing, right? You have the Susanna theme from Stormblood. You have a lot of things from Stormblood. I fucking digged it, you know, in general. Like, Kugane Castle theme, the Kugane Day theme, Ralg's Reach was so super relaxing. It was a more down-to-earth expansion, and the music was a more down-to-earth type of music. It scratched different vibes than in Heavensward. Like, people are like, Heavensward is better than Stormblood. First of all, for me, that's not the case. I like Stormblood more, but I cannot compare them. They are different. They're fundamentally different expansions. One of them has different style, different appeal, different fantasy behind it. Stormblood has way different writing, you know, different style. And I really, really loved how they started for the first time, giving you the choice, not a choice between two zones, but hinting that, you know what, maybe this is how we want to go. Not go like monotonous X, Y, Z. They give you a choice between X and Y. And in the end, you can do X, Y, and Z, or Y, X, and Z, and you can decide and dictate in which way you're gonna progress the story. Then Shadowbringers happened, and would it be an overstatement to say that Shadowbringers, in my opinion, has had the best music we've seen in any other MMO? Like, the opening cinematic of Shadowbringers, Insatiable, the theme, fucking Lahi, right? Amarang music, the combat, the Nier remake, you know, the fucking, the trial music from Ultima. Shadowbringers was amazing as shit, right? And after that, am I out of materials? Yes, I am. Hold up, let me see. Item crafting. I need raw fruit. Okay, we can go farm this instead. Hold up, let me level up first. So, it was phenomenal. That's what I'm trying to say, right? Even the lady, the Titania, you know, with the fa-la-la-la. It was something different, something alien. I truly, truly loved it. We go into Endwalker. And let's be honest, the music from Endwalker, the cinematic at least, it was a fun serving, you know, like fun service, you know, they just, you know. The first Shadowbringers dungeon hit different when I started it with the atmosphere and OST and the Sleen, right? And the Sleen. By the way, what I have been doing is the most efficient way to level up your character in Elden Ring, okay? You just get this sword, like for those of you, this is the sword you get from the final boss, alright? The gear doesn't matter, just put on the fucking gold scarab and eat the fucking golden fowl food, and that's the best way to level up in Elden Ring if you care about things like that. Now, with that out of the way, let me continue with what I was actually saying, which was the music comparison between fucking Shadowbringers and Endwalker. And I believe Endwalker, like I said, the beginning cinematic was fan service. The theme is not so vibrant. Though the final boss of the dungeon sounds, the theme of the final boss of the dungeon sounds phenomenal in my opinion. I really enjoyed that. And what I truly adored, and now we're getting to one of the reasons why I'm starting to truly love fucking Endwalker. It is because, fellas, the last part that we did in Thavnair, the music, the bongs, do you call them bongs? Bongos, yeah, bongos. They gave you the sense of urgency that you needed. They learned how to manipulate ambience. I love the music in Thavnair and Radzat Khan. Yeah. For me, the favorite part is the A Song of Hope, blah, 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 which you know, I know it, you know it, everybody knows it, that it's part of the achievements that you get for progressing the story, right? And it was truly marvelous. You see the team, the sound team starting to grow as a concept. Like, they become more inclusive. They know how to manipulate their sound. They know how to get these emotions out from you. Now, I've said it before, for me, sound and music is way more important than visuals. You can get over a bad display so long as the fucking sound triggers the appropriate emotion, because that's what sound does, that's what music does. It triggers appropriate fucking emotion. If you cannot do that, then you're not going to be successful. Now, by the way, why did I change my fucking equipment? Okay, you guys can see something bottom right called item discovery, okay? Like, if you check this shit out, it will go red now. By wearing this shit, I ensure that I get more items in order to fasten my fucking resource farming, you know? So yeah, you also get to have some sort of guide in Elden Ring in this fucking... I don't even know if I'm going to upload this into YouTube later. Maybe I will, like a fucking, you know, just honest confession stream. And you get the sound improvement. The story of Endwalker continues to become better. The sound of the game continues to become better. The graphics continue to become better. And by all accounts, literally by all accounts, you have the game becoming better. I don't know of a single other game, not RPG, not MMO, not whatever the fuck. I don't know a single other game that has been so successful in being constantly improving. It is remarkable. You know, I was discussing this with my friend Hollow Inside, Aldamol now. He had the name change, you know. We've been friends with this guy ever since he was 10 years old, and I want to say, I'm 1 year younger, so I'm like I was 9 years old, right? What did we discuss about? Now, the guy, I told him about FF14 and the writing. He said, I truly appreciate you telling me, as many other of my friends told me, but I'm not going to play Final Fantasy XIV. He's a WoW Andy, okay? He's like, I have enough MMOs, I will play World of Warcraft, and I'm not interested in another MMO. And I'm like, respectable. So it is a guy that he's not going to play Final Fantasy XIV, okay? Lovely. However, even he respects Yoshi P. Even he respects Yoshi P's leadership. How he's handling it, how his community loves him. And he was like, you know what, and we talked about positive prejudges towards stuff. You guys are gonna play FF16, right? Most of you probably are. Why? You don't know if it's gonna be good. Heck, Final Fantasy 15 was dog shit as garbage. Why would you want to play FF16? Because you have the developer team, you have Yoshi P, right? And you have hope. What if I told you that Ion Hadzikostas was about to create a new game and he's gonna be the game director of the new game? Would you have these positive prejudges? I'm not talking shit towards Ion Hadzikostas. I truly respect him as a developer because I believe he's a phenomenal fucking raid and counter designer. But unfortunately, I believe he's dog shit as garbage when it comes to managing his game. Okay, that's my opinion. I'm not talking smack. I would be negative prejudged towards the game, be it MMO, be it single player, be it whatever the fuck it would be. If the guy created it, we trust in our Lord and Savior. That's why we play it. Precisely. So, what I'm trying to get here is that they managed to foster the most difficult part. Final Fantasy XIV is the best MMO. Final Fantasy XIV has the best community of all MMOs. Final Fantasy XIV has the best developer of all MMOs. Final Fantasy XIV has the best designers of all MMOs. You would assume that I would feel the need to back up my claims, but honestly, if you don't believe so, I don't care. You are entitled to be wrong. I sound like a cultist, don't I? But honestly, that is the case. That is fortunately or unfortunately the case. They know only steady progress. They know only steady improvement. It doesn't matter if you like stuff in the game or if you don't like stuff in the game. I hated that part that I made a video about that I'm not going to mention here. Not a cult. We are unironically not being a cult right now. I know when I'm being a cult, and it's when I'm preaching in favor of murder. Yes, if I even change my accent, to make it obvious that, it's murder. Like, I don't call it murder or anything. Like, it's murder. It's a bit more memey shit, man. But I'm preaching, but also being honest right now. It is the truth. It is the objective truth. I hated that part that I made a video about. I do not criticize the game. My only critic to the game, how do you call it in English? My critique, my judgment, okay, of the game is Liz. Unironically, Liz. Now, why do I hate Liz? Because I think that they ruined her writing. That's my opinion, okay? Criticism, critique, yeah, of course. My only criticism is that with Liz, because I think that they ruined her. They tried to rewrite her many, many times, and they went from an already sort of established scion, who was powerful, and she could have been the next Papa Limo. They made her the next bitch, and that's a true pity, This is something that I am very, very judgmental towards. I consider this a dogshit ass garbage take, a dogshit ass garbage move. Yes, Rebanaster, I did not enjoy. It left me indifferent. But I'm not going to criticize it because some people probably enjoyed it. It was more mechanical heavy than Alexander was. It was a step up when it came to the raid. Wait, Alexander was not the Alliance raid. It was the fucking... Sorry, I apologize. It was the Sky Pirates that were the content. That were the Alliance raid. And yeah, Rebanaster was more mechanically heavy. It was more of a modern MMO take. In comparison to that one, right? So yeah, I did not enjoy that. I did not enjoy it that much, but I'm not going to criticize it. For me, it was indifferent, and this is the worst thing an MMO can do to a person, a game can do to a person, especially if it is an RPG. Indifference. I don't mind hating the turn of events of the story. Like with the grandma and what we saw today with the guy fucking dying. What was his name? The granny died and then her one died to protect the guy. The kiddo died. All this thing, I hated this turn of event because I would have decapitated the grandma there and then. I told you. You should not look at me when it comes to morality. I am a very chaotic person, though I tend to try to have the greater good in my compass, though my methods are questionable to say in the least, right? I hated that turn of events, but I respect the story. I enjoyed the story. It was very, very good. I'm not criticizing the story. I loved it. I loved the message with the hope, and I don't want to repeat what I have already said before, right? I hated the whole mind rape with the fucking Xenos and Falafel, yes? I am happy that moments like this exist in the game. I want moments in the story to hate. I don't want to hate the friction between the game and myself. I don't want to have a system that's going to fuck me in the ass. WoW will have a big boost for a couple of months, but Final Fantasy XIV steadily growing, and devs release so much content every 4 months. Look, No MMO grows steadily, okay? You will always have spikes. It goes better, then stagnates, then falls off. Then the new patch comes, it goes better, then stagnates, then falls off. It goes better, then stagnates, and then falls off. That's the never-ending circle of a fucking MMO, yes? The only difference is that where World of Warcraft has yearly subscriptions, and I did not want to make a comparison between WoW and FF, but there we are again, you know? WoW tries to milk you. It tries to have these year-long subscriptions. It tries to force you to play the game. You don't have to play the game. You don't have to be forced to play the game. This is not your woman. You can. What other game forces you to play every day? Does Elden Ring force you to play every day? No. Yoshi P, if you ever watch this video or if you ever see this moment, I speak to you from the bottom of my heart when I say that you have the biggest balls a man could ever hope to have, to come out here and say that, you know what, if you have completed the content, maybe you should quit the game, maybe you should go play another game. Can you imagine what type of massive balls you need in order to risk invoking the wrath of Square Enix? Of Square Enix! Of all companies, of Square Enix. Let me tell you guys a secret about Square Enix. You probably know that. The president is in favor of NFTs. And this guy told you to stop, to unsubscribe from the game. How can you not have respect to this guy? How can you not? Let me read some of the chat messages. Stormblood AR was for Final Fantasy XIV tactics fans. Yes, it did nothing for me, though I love the fights. As for Liz, you have the right to be wrong. Fuck you, Spectre84, suck on my dick. I asked my WoW friends when they have a patch coming up and how much content are they getting, and they never know. It's sad. I feel bad for them. The problem with World of Warcraft is that you are practically obliged to log in every day. You guys think I'm joking. I am a former Mythic Raider. I'm not going to log into WoW right now to show you my accomplishments, but I am a former Mythic Raider. I was forced to log every single day to do benthic farming, back in Shara's Palace patch. I was forced to run many Mythic dungeons, 10 to be precise, in order to unlock 3 chests, in order to be more efficient and have higher chance of getting the item I want, to get my best installed and have higher item level requirement, because the loot is personal loot. So if I got an item that I wanted to trade to my friend, I would have to have higher item level than the item I would trade. So let's say that I get a plate item. I was playing a Death Knight. Let's say that I get a plate item that is dog shit for me. So I want to trade it away. Let's say that it had crit mastery, and I do not want crit mastery. I want versatility haste, as Blood DK wanted. And I go to trade this, but because that item is 111 and I have equipped 110, I cannot trade it to you. So you will never get the item that I benevolently want to give to you, you know? So I had to farm all these systems. I had the game fighting me at literally every step of the way. Like, I've said this before many times. I don't think that the WoW community is toxic by itself. It becomes toxic because we have been getting fucked in the ass repeatedly for at least 6 years. System after system has been fucking us in the ass. You gonna play an ult? No, you won't play an ult because you have to farm your AP. No, you won't do that with your friend because he's horde. No, you want to play, I don't know, whatever. You won't do whatever because you have to do the other thing. You wanna raid, you have to do Torghast. You wanna raid, you have to get your Azerite armor. You have to do the island expeditions. You have to do your warfronts. You have to fucking do, you know? And this is preposterous. And then now you play this fucking game who literally caters to you in a way that no other game has catered to me. No MMO. And I have been playing MMOs since 2002. So yeah, you do what you think of, whatever you think from this, okay? Oh, lovely. And still 14 carries the company. You know about it then. I'm excited for you to experience 14 endgames so that you can compare the differences. I can already tell you about the differences. I love the concept of... So, like, many people judge 14 and World of Warcraft and say that, you know what, in Final Fantasy 14 you cannot be creative. Because you don't have talents. I'ma bust your bubble right now, Felicia, because in World of Warcraft you don't have talents that you can be creative with. There is the meta, and the meta is always one talent set. No matter what you do, you will have to wear this talent set. And you would think that the difference between the DPS between different talent sets is like 1 or 2%? No. It's 10%, it's 15%. If you don't play the optimal way, you're dogshit at the fucking game. You do no damage. You will not be invited. You will be removed because you will do less damage than the tank. And I truly love FF14's perspective. I really do. I don't want... if I want creativity, why not swap classes? I can play Dark Knight. I want to swap and tank as another guy because I don't like the playstyle. What if I swap into a paladin? What if I swap into a fucking warrior? What if I start playing a melee? And melee play way different. Like samurai plays different than reaper, reaper plays different than dragoon, dragoon plays different than ninja. They are a bit homogenized. I'm not gonna deny that, okay? But I think that they are learning from their, not mistakes, but I'm gonna say shortcomings, okay? They are learning from their shortcomings, and by learning from their shortcomings, you know that the developer team is going to be successful. Where was I going with this entire parenthesis? Towards one very specific thing. You guys know for a fact, it has been said that 6.0 or 6.x, I have not done the patches, and I don't know the content of the patches myself. But we know that Endwalker is the end of a saga. It's the end. That's it. Kinda like many people perceive Wrath of the Lich King to be the end for World of Warcraft, and then WoW 2 happening with Cataclysm, WoW 3 happening with Mists of Pandaria. Yeah, World of Warcraft had to restart and stop many times because the writers were dogshit at it. I am optimistic. I truly am. I am optimistic about 7.0. Why? Because I was not given a single reason not to be optimistic about 7.0. If the game had left me indifferent, and the day that the game leaves me indifferent, I will be the first one to preach against it. I will be the first one to criticize it. I don't give a fuck if the community will love me or hate me. Ever since I started the streaming, I advocated in favor of one thing. Honesty and originality. So yeah, I am being 100% sincere with you. I'm not shilling for the company. Fuck Square Enix, I love Final Fantasy XIV. The day that I feel Final Fantasy XIV fails to deliver, I will come out here and confess it in front of this camera, in front of you guys. Maybe you'll like me, maybe you'll hate me, I don't give a fuck. I will have inner peace because I will have confessed what I truly feel. If you want a video, like I will probably upload this shit into YouTube later. If you want an honest, totally honest take, not a review because I'm not reviewing the game, but if you want an honest confession when it comes to the entirety of Final Fantasy XIV, show this video to a guy, to a person, clip it, do whatever the fuck you want with, react to it, I don't care. I come out here in public to tell these things to you guys because I honestly don't give a fuck how people react or how people take them. I very much love this job. Ever since I was a young boy, I truly adored the concept of entertaining people. It started as a class clown and then we turned into this, yes? So, I'm hoping I am entertaining you. It doesn't matter if you like it or hate it. I'm hoping that I'm getting emotion out of you. I'm hoping that you guys, you can react to it. You can do whatever, honestly, whatever the fuck you want. Meme about it. You're free. You're free to do what you want. But this is how I feel, how it makes me feel. And I will sum up this part of today's stream with one very specific confession. I've said it before, and I will say it again in the future. Every single day I finish Final Fantasy XIV streams, I feel like a better person. I right now feel calm. I right now feel relaxed. I right now feel at peace with what I have done in the game. It doesn't matter if the story is going to shit, you know, like the world is going to die. But it doesn't matter to me because it's a good game. And I can close it and I can leave it be. and it will still be a good game. Kind of like Elden Ring. It's a good game. I know that I can put my Elden Ring on my fucking shelf for months, and then I can come back and play it again, and I will have content to do. Same goes to Elden Ring, to Final Fantasy XIV. World of Warcraft forces me with FOMO to keep playing it. When I stopped WoW, I would always go to bed thinking about WoW. Thinking about what I have to do the next day, about what I have to do this week. Listen to what I'm saying. Have to. Obligation. Okay? Obligation. Not suggestion. Obligation. And this kind of fucked me psychologically in the past. Not this March, but the previous March, I was a super skinny guy. Okay? I was not working out, I was full of stress, I was eating 1 meal per day, I was sleeping at maximum 6 hours every night. I had no personal life, I had no personal time, it was a terrible place to be. It was a terrible place to be, and I had to stop WoW because I quite literally felt myself worrying about my life. I was like, you're gonna die. It was a life full of stress, a life full of pseudo-obligation, a life full of being dictated what to do and how to play. And then I came back into FF, and I loved it. And before that, even before that, when was it? Billy, are you in the chat? If you are in the chat, or maybe After Dawn, if you're in the chat, can you remind me when we, around the time, I think it was May 3 years ago or something. No, when did I first play Final Fantasy XIV? Fuck, I don't even remember, right? Yeah, which expansion it was. I was done. Warlords of Draenor, everybody talks so hostile, is so hostile about Warlords of Draenor, about, oh my god, it had no good. Warlords of Draenor was the first the last non-toxic World of Warcraft expansion. Legion came out, and everybody's like, oh, Legion is so good. It is? Really? Do you like the concept of having to delete your character and make another one because the legendary you got via the RNG system was a bad one? So the RNG was against the possibility of you getting a legendary was less effective than to literally create a character from scratch and exploit artifact knowledge and farm a lot of AP and get the appropriate legendary, because your damage between the best legendary and the worst legendary was so marginal that you will literally be kicked out of the raid. We had a warlock in my guild back then, in Septum. He got kicked. He got replaced because he got Cephus, and Cephus was dogshit back then. And the other guy got was it the eradication one for distraction? The one that increases the damage of Case Bolt by 12%, if I recall correctly? I'm not entirely sure. What I'm trying to say is that, yeah, just like that. Just like that. The guy lost his spot because the guild wanted to progress. And why would they take someone that does literally half the damage of the other guy? Why? Why? It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. You have no reason. Because here's the problem. You fuck the other 19 people in the ass by taking the non-optimal guy when you want to kill the hardest difficulty in the game, right? You had the AP telling you that you want to play an alt, fuck you, suck on my dick and balls, you're going to go log in and farm off souls to get the most of the artifact rates. Warlords of Draenor was the last expansion that I enjoyed playing alts. And Shadowlands to a lesser extent, those Shadowlands had different issues, you know. Final Fantasy XIV, I stop, I go to bed, and I don't think about FF. Never. I never think about Final Fantasy before I go to sleep. How healthy is that? How beautiful is that? That I can stop it. And I can have my own thoughts about my day and shit. Ever since I started playing, maining Final Fantasy XIV as an MMO and not taking WoW seriously, I've been working out for ever since the previous month, not this March of 2022, but the March of 2021. For many people, the pandemic was terrible. For me, it was actually good. It was super healthy for my body and my mindset. I read a few books. I got into Final Fantasy XIV. I truly got to enjoy the MMO. I was not feeling the need to play. I was feeling the desire to play. And this is good. This is good. Never did Final Fantasy XIV tried to keep me to log into the game. Not once. And I commend them for that. I truly do. So yeah, there you guys have it. The confession of a gamer that was born in 1994, right? The confession of a gamer that I have been playing games ever since I was 6. I wanna say my very first game was... What was my very first game, actually? No, I was playing... Okay, hold up. I have been playing... 1999, I was playing some football, Pro Evolution Soccer, the first ones that came with my fucking cousin. I played some Resident Evil, the old school Resident Evil, you know, in PS1. When I was in primary school, I would go to friends' houses and I would play on Nintendo GameCube, play some Pokemon there. We would play some Mario Bros. We also had another neighbor, actually behind the camera, behind the screen, behind this fucking wall that's behind the fucking camera. This is where she used to live, okay? I think now she's married and shit, right? And she had the GameCube as well, and I would go there and we would play Mario together, you know? And I was like, oh my god, thank you, you know? And then I got, wait, before I got my PS2, I also got my first Game Boy, which was a Game Boy Color. My very first version was Silver, Pokemon Silver. And after that I played Pokemon Yellow, after that I played Pokemon Red. Then, what did I play? I don't think I've played Gold or Crystal ever. Then I got to fucking Game Boy Advance, which I didn't have Game Boy Advance. But I would take the Game Boy Advance of my friends and I would like, can I borrow it? And they were like, sure. And I would tell them like, I will finish you the game. I will give you the game finished if you want. Like I will make a new game and I will finish the game for you and deliver it to you at the exact same I found it. Is it okay? They will tell me if it is okay. I have, I don't even know how the fuck I did it. I remember killing Pokemon Ruby, clearing Pokemon Ruby in 5 hours. 5 hours and 14 minutes, if I recall correctly. I big dig it, you know? And my method was very, very simple if you want to try it. I would get Swampert, you know, Mudskip, and a Birdie. And no matter what I did, I would only level up Swampert. And when I go to the league and my Swampert would die, I would get out like level 10 and level 15 mobs, Pokemon. And I would just use Revive and Full Restore to my Swampert, who was over leveled as shit, and he could just solo everything, you know? It was Swampert and Groudon for Ruby, it was Swampert and Kyogre for the fucking Sapphire, it was it Rayquaza for Emerald? Yeah, we do have Emerald actually, and we then bought Nintendo DS, and the Nintendo DS Lite actually, my brother bought one of them, and then he broke it, and then we bought another one, okay? And I played Sapphire there. I bought Sapphire and then I had Sapphire over there. I played Emerald and I finished. Then I got a lot of Pokemon versions. I got Diamond. I finished. My brother had Diamond. We lost it. It's in some grandma's house, but we lost Diamond. We don't know where the fuck it is. And then we got Pearl, and I still have Pearl. We got Black. We got Black 2. Or was it White 2? I can check up here. I have them up there in the fucking wardrobe right behind me, right? I got Omega Ruby right next to me. I got Pokemon Y for my 3DS. Like, I've been playing a lot of games. And the only game that I can wholeheartedly say that became better... Actually, no, it's 2 games. One of them is Final Fantasy XIV. And the other one is Soul Silver. Soul Silver was an improvement to Pokemon Silver by all accounts. And Pokemon Silver was an improvement to Pokemon, to the previous generation, to Kanto region, by all accounts as well. I think after that, everything started going south for the Pokemon Company. If I'm being honest. Content-wise, at least. No other... You know what? I'm curious to see if God of War has a similar perspective, if it constantly improves. Why do I say that? Because God of War 1 was God of War 1. I played up to 3. I have not played God of War 4 and God of War 5. And I'm curious if they are improvements. Though, I'm gonna be honest, I don't see how Kratos... I have God of War 4, by the way. I own it. I've just never played it. I bought it like 10 euros in one of the sales. But I could not see how fucking Kratos, a guy who loved his wife and child so much that after killing them, he went and did whatever the fuck he did, right? I cannot see how he would fall in love with another lady and get another kid, because it was so emphasized in the first 3 games how much he loved his wife and his kid. I guess we'll find out in the future. I'm curious if you guys would be interested to watch God of War, if I'm being entirely honest with you guys. I don't know. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But we have so many games that I want to cover. Like, we have an Elden Ring gameplay that I want to do, and I think that the ending I'm going to deliver will be the one of the Dungator, right? We have Dragonflight, we have Endwalker, we have the Heavensward redoing, because I need to redo Heavensward because I don't remember a lot of things about Heavensward. And yeah, maybe I'll find some time to try out other things. I have VSO, I wanna show you guys how beautiful it is and how hideously the company is handling it. What else do I have that I wanna do? I wanna play Star Wars: The Old Republic, another game that I believe the story is phenomenal. And truly, if you haven't played Star Wars: The Old, The Old Republic. I said correctly. Sorry. If you haven't played Star Wars: The Old Republic, install it. It's gonna look very, very bad, very, very outdated. Don't pay attention. Just play it for the story. It is as good as Final Fantasy XIV is, with more liberty and with more freedom in the choices. And it's in the Star Wars universe and franchise, so, you know, like, it's automatically a very, very good thing to enjoy. I wish we get the Lord of the Rings MMO. I think this is gonna be the last farm I do, and soon I will stop the stream, by the way. I wish I could... we will have a new Lord of the Rings MMO. I'm very, very excited about the Riot MMO. Even though I am negatively prejudged against Ghostcrawler, I'm going to offer my biased opinion. The guy's a clown. He was a terrible PvP designer in World of Warcraft. He was a terrible... he had terrible takes. He was hostile. The Lord of... Yeah, there is, but I cannot play that because of graphics. I'm talking about the new one. There was a new one about to be released, but in the end it was cancelled. That's what I'm saying. I want a modern MMO, man. One like ESO, one like New World, one something like this, you know. So I want a new stage. I want a new stage. I want something new. Elden Ring is something new. It will bring a revolution in the field of gaming, in the field of gaming, right? Dark Souls did. From Software did. They brought a new revolution. They created the Soulsborne. Speaking of Soulsborne, I forgot. I should probably play fucking Thamnair at some point, right? And other Soulsborne games. They did. They brought a new revolution. They brought a new stage, a new creation, a new something, you know? So I want a new MMO that will deliver those things, something innovative. Maybe Ashes of Creation will deliver that, though with the tab targeting system, I don't see it being the case, personally, right? What was I saying before that? Probably was talking about games, right? But yeah, I think... Oh yeah, I was talking about how I'm negatively prejudged against Ghostcrawler, okay? The guy had an attitude as a Blizzard dev. I mean, most of them do, right? But he had an attitude. His leading skills were non-existent. The PvP was at its worst during his era. Brian Holink actually fixed PvP from many perspectives, from many sides and perspectives. Yeah, perspectives, I said it correctly. Ghostcrawler was a piece of shit. And Greg Street, that's Ghostcrawler's name. I am negatively prejudged towards this guy, but I'm hopeful that maybe, you know what, maybe it will be a good MMO. After all, Riot. Say what you will about the community. Say what you will about League of Legends. But everybody talks shit about it, everybody blames it, everybody is sad about it, yet they all play it. Why do they all play it? Because it's the best MOBA out there. It is. It doesn't matter if you agree or disagree. It doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. The masses have spoken, you know? It is the most widely accepted one. Zero pay to win, free-to-play game. Valorant, zero pay to win, free-to-play game. And they have another one other than Valorant. Like, they also have the arcade. Was it Arcane? The TV series that they have? Successful. Riot, modern Riot is what Blizzard used to be. I am for that sole reason, I am very not hopeful, but I'm very optimistic about their game. That is the only reason I have faith in that particular company. The community is dog shit. Okay? But it doesn't matter. In the end, the best part about the MMOs, be it Final Fantasy XIV, be it World of Warcraft, be it whatever the fuck it is, it is no matter how toxic the community fucking is, people create a guild, people create a group, people create a clique, and they play with the clique, and they get to enjoy it, they get to savor it, they get to have positive emotions. Every single emotion I have from World of Warcraft is because of my guild. I'm not kidding you. Every single positive emotion after the death of Lich King for me was because I did something with the guild or with my friends. It was not about good writing. The music was very, very good in WoW, and there is no denying that. Though the last very emotional song for me was in Legion. Neil Acree created my last favorite song, my last favorite moment. It was with Anduin Rin, right? His theme. It was beautiful. It was truly magnificent, truly, truly beautiful. But after that, I don't know, like the Shadowlands music left me indifferent. To criminal levels indifferent. Like, I couldn't give a fuck, I couldn't care less, right? And before that, BFA had some kind of cool music, but that's it, kind of cool music, you know, forgettable, thing you can forget. And the one thing that I don't want in my games is things that I can forget. Make me hate you, make me love you, make me despise you, make me adore you, but don't leave me forget. Don't let me forget you. I will never forget Emetzal. I will never forget La Habria. I'll never forget Elidibus, who is my least favorite Paragon, but I'll never forget him. I'll never forget his encounter. I'll never forget his style. I'll never forget his hope. His love for his people. I'll never forget Bahamut. I'll never forget Neil Vardanas. You know, the bitch, you know? I'll never forget those things. I'll never forget, what was his guy's name? The turtle guy, Soroban. I'll never forget Soroban. And how he became a fucking, a lord. You know, the 4 lords. How he became one of the lords. I'll never forget, I forgot the samurai's name. I remember the turtle. Suzaku. The silliest fucking things. I'll never forget Goldberg. I'll never forget, Hildebrad's mother with a pan. We're talking about things that I've done longer than 2 years ago, by the way, right now. Not Stormblood, but Heavensward, right? I forgot a lot of things of Heavensward, but even if I try to remember Heavensward, I think I will succeed. Why do I say that? Because it's all coming together, and the game itself does not let me forget. What's stuck to me is most WoW streamers overlay their own music, while Final Fantasy XIV streamers just let the OST play regarding the OST point you made. Yeah. You live, like, it is relaxing. It is relaxing. You're correct in what you're saying. I always leave the zone play, or, wait, well, let's take this thing right here. And which one did I want to increase next? Let's do, let's take this Arcane to 70 maybe, or mine to 55. I have enough mana, let's take Arcane. Okay, there we go. This is a very, very optimal leveling thing, okay. If you check out my Final Fantasy XIV, every single time I play FF14, it's the same thing. I will either listen to the mount music, or I will listen to the normal music, like the zone music, the raid music, and so on and so forth, right? But I never play other music over FF14. And that is really, really nice. It feels good, okay? It really feels good.